Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm meadsyreplays. Welcome back to the channel. Now, in today's video, we're not going to have any gameplay whatsoever, but what we are going to do is just look at some changes that are coming in the next update. Now, these changes, when it comes to rebalancing, has been on the cards for a long time, and Wargaming announced it a while ago. They announced it when we was at Tankfest, and there are a lot of unhappy faces. Like, some of the changes that they're doing, people were just like, what the frick are you doing? And I agree to some extent. There are changes out there that, why are you doing that? And Wargaming does have an explanation, but sometimes, they are wrong. Sometimes they are wrong when it comes to rebalancing. But so this is what they have said, and we know a certain thing about meta, right? There's certain meta in the game that, medium meta, where everyone just goes for the medium tanks, that they're absolutely OP. And then what Wargaming like to do is change the meta of the game, so it's not just all about medium tanks. And we've seen it for years. We have one update or a period of time, like a year, 2 years, that is just all about certain tanks. Like when I first started, almost when I first started, we had the Object 140 and the IS-7. That was the meta. And then, of course, Wargaming, over time, they change they change the meta. So then it becomes sort of heavy meta, because they gave all heavies a massive hit point buff. So a lot of people sort of went off from the mediums and started playing the heavies. And then, of course, they changed sort of tank destroyers. So a lot more people played tank destroyers. So it just changes the game. And I'm all for that. I am all for that. But sometimes the changes are not welcome. Sometimes we just sit there and think, what are you doing? So what they basically said is, as you know, we aim to refresh the gameplay each season, which is fine to do. And this time, almost all Tier 10 tanks are in focus. So in addition to the usual seasonal gameplay changes, we have a few specific objectives with the rebalance that you should keep in mind whilst reading through the changes. So changing the meta and overall gameplay, we aim to shift the focus away from the most popular and or strongest tanks, allowing less people and or weaker tanks to shine. Again, I'm all for that. This is a crucial part of maintaining the game balance. So yeah, okay, I totally get the change of meta. Reducing turbo battles, we want to minimize the occurrence of extremely fast-paced battles. Now, that's always going to happen, no matter what changes. How can you change that? You're going to rebalance tanks. You're going to make some better, some worse, and the better ones are probably going to perform better, and they're going to, I don't know, they're going to destroy people just as quick as the OP tanks now. So yeah, I don't quite understand that, but I don't think there is a way of removing that, except to get better players. Decreasing the prevalence of auto-loading tanks at Tier 10. I don't agree with that. I don't really agree with that. I like the auto-loading tanks. The problem with auto-loading tanks at Tier 10 is there's so many of them. They need to adjust the balance, the matchmaking, like they do with heavy tanks, medium tanks, etc., where you can really only have 2 or 3 in a game on a team. They need to do that with auto-loaders. I've been saying that for years. So reducing the survivability of tank destroyers against medium tanks and light tanks. I mean, do you really need to reduce the survivability? I don't know. If you find yourself wondering, why was this tank changed like this? The answers lie in these objectives. So below you'll find some cards detailing the changes of the tank's characteristics. We will post updates about different nations over the next 3 days, and we look forward to your feedback. Now, the feedback on the Discord server is generally quite good, so people can upvote and they can downvote. Now, you'll see the upvotes and downvotes to these certain changes, and we're going to look through the changes. These are only a couple of nations, and of course they're going to then tomorrow or the next couple of days they're going to put other nations on there, which we'll look at every day. So today we're just going to look at the nations, the rebalancing that they've announced, and then tomorrow the next lot, and then tomorrow the next day the next lot, etc. So upvotes for that. 232 to 149. So the majority understood, and they understand the process of it, which is pretty, you know, I get it. I get why they are doing it. But here we go to the changes. So first of all, you got the mouse, the grill, the KPZ50T, and the VK90, and the VK72. So the upvotes compared to the downvotes, a lot of people are actually in favour of these changes. So some of them you look at, I mean, the mouse reload time is going from 11.51 to 11.31, so better reload. The scatter factor of the gun when the turret is rotated, 0.12 to 0.13, which is nothing really. So basically it's getting better reload time, like not much, like 11.5 to 11.3. There is nothing in that whatsoever. So what's the point? I really don't know. But that's nothing really from the mouse, actually a little buff to be fair. The grill rotation speed from 35.71 to 40, and the reload time from 11.3 to 11. Power to weight ratio 19.1 to 20.1, and the max speed 50 to 53. So yeah, not a bad buff, I would say, there for the grill as well. The KPZ50T, the penetration 250 on your standard round, 353 goes to 242, 292, and 50. So yeah, the penetration is getting worse, but the aim time is getting better at 3.6. Yeah, I mean, 250 on your standard pen down to 242. It's nothing really in that. So what's the point? How much is that really going to affect the game? Removing 8 penetration, I really don't know how. Obviously, Wargaming do know. Aim time for the VK90 from 5.4 to 5.1. Rotation speed turret 20.86 to 18.77. The scatter factor of the gun when the turret is rotated, 0.08 to 0.11. And then moving on to the VK72, the penetration is currently, again, something like this. 258 on your standard pen is going to 254. You're losing 4. What is the freaking difference? What is the difference? I get the difference for the reload time because you're gaining an extra second. So it's a little nerf there for the VK72. You're losing a little bit of penetration and you're losing pretty much 1 second off your reload time. So yeah, I get, but the penetration, I just don't understand. So moving on to the next lot, and you can see, let's look at the upvotes first. I mean, look at that. 84 upvotes to 704 downvotes. That is crazy. Reload on the Leopard 1, 6.23 to 6.71. So yeah, nerf there. Hit points 1800 to 1750, so you're losing on your hit points as well. You're gaining on your speed, rotation speed, power to weight ratio, the gun turn limit, and the max reverse. Wow, max reverse is going 2 miles an hour quicker, or 2 kilometers per hour quicker. So yeah, I think that's a horrible nerf there for the Leopard 1. E100. And again, I don't even think the Leopard needs a nerf. Yes, it's very good in the right hands, but not many right hands actually play the Leopard 1. More wrong hands play it, which then makes the tank look really, really bad. E100 penetration 258 to 254. Again, only losing 4. Your Alpha 680 to 660. So you're losing your penetration. You're losing the Alpha. Reload time, again, I mean, for your 128mm, 12.46 to 10.55. So not bad there on your reload time. Your penetration 250. And again, this is the different gun. Not many people use this, to be fair. And maybe they want people to use it. I don't know. Maybe they do want people to use that other gun of the E100. Your penetration 250 to 256. Your aim time 5.9 to 4.8. So yeah, nice buff there for the second or the first gun on the E100. But again, no one plays that gun. They all play the 152, which is actually getting a nerf. E50M. Reload time 6.9 to 5.2, so you're getting better reload. Your speed shell 1478, and that goes to 1090. So the speed is dramatically decreased. But reload time, I mean, really? Does it need the reload buff? And you can see the armor there. The side of the turret is pretty much going from 105 to 114. The side plate 102 to 111. And then the back of the track 5.2 to 8. And then the front 87 to 102. So a decent buff, I would say, for the E50, especially the reload time. It doesn't need changing. The Jaegeru here, you have the hit points is going up 50. Your aim time is going up a little bit, and your reload is going up by almost pretty much half a second as well. And your armor is changing by 10. I mean, 270 to 280. It's the side bit of your gun is changing by 10. Does it need? I don't understand. But as you can see, the majority of the people do not like them changes. Then we get to the Japanese. Let's look at the upvotes. Again, not as bad, but it's still bad. 179 to 519. The STB one, the reload is going from 6.71 to 7.09. Your shell speed is again decreased. Your power to weight ratio is decreased, and your max speed is increased. So more reload time. Again, I don't even think that the STB is anything special. It's like the Leopard. In the right hands, it is a very, very good tank. But yeah, Wargaming felt the need to change it. Type 71 reload time is going from 10.93 to 11.2, but you are getting the alpha of the gold shell is going from 360 to 400, so not bad. Your penetration is also increasing as well, so I don't think that's a bad change there for the Type 71. Your Hori there, your speed shells are increasing, your reload time is decreasing, your rotation speed is decreasing, and of course the factor of the gun turret is when rotated 0.08 to 0.1. So again, I don't think that's a bad change there for the Hori. And here is the Americans. So let's have a look at, 88 against 308. So the pattern. Reload time is going from 6.5 to 6.8. Why? There's nothing wrong with the pattern. I think the pattern, if anything, needs a buff. I really don't know why they've done that. But, hey ho. The T-25 pilot, I think, why were they looking at the T-25 pilot? I don't know. What is that, the wrong tank? What is even that supposed to be? I don't even know what the T-25 pilot is supposed to be, but we'll ignore that. Or did they say? I uploaded the wrong US pics. I don't know. M60, 6.81 reload to 7. Again, just like the pattern. I don't know why that's changing. Sheridan, 230 pen going to 235. Max speed is increasing by 2. The alpha damage is also going up. So again, a nice little buff there, I think, for the Sheridan. T57 heavy, rotation speed 3.3.48 down to 30.13. So yeah, it's losing the rotation speed. Aim time is going from 3.5 to 4, and your max speed forward and reverse is going from 35 to 37, and reverse 12 to 13. 1, really? But I don't get it. But I think overall that is a nerf there for the T57. And that's it. So you can see the majority of people are not liking these changing. And that is only with the Germans, the Americans, and of course the Japanese. So we're going to look tomorrow at whatever Wargaming posts tomorrow, whatever nations they post tomorrow. Let me know what you think of these changes that you've just seen here today. Not overall, just these changes. And then, of course, tomorrow we'll look at them changes as well. But some of them I don't understand. Some of them, yeah, it's nice for a buff. And then, of course, the nerfs, which I don't understand. Hope you enjoyed today's video. Let me know in the comments below. For now, I'm Meadsy, and I'll catch you all soon. Bye-bye.